Everything Ben is doing now, he's making himself look worse and worse. There's an absolutely ridiculous report that just came out today that Ben supposedly, by an act of compassion, let J-Lo file for divorce. And by the way, please subscribe and be my 275th subscriber. I just can't get my mind around that. You're talking about a divorce. That's horrible in any sense of the word. And I'm not against divorce. I mean, if people get divorced all the time, and sometimes life happens, people grow apart, people do dumb things, things happen, life happens. I get it. That happens, okay? But to act like you're this great person for letting her file the divorce papers instead of you, or filing them together, it's just like, what is he thinking? What is going on? What is going through his mind? But the reason why it's ridiculous is, again, it's another thing that's supposedly leaked to make Ben look better. And I think it just kind of makes him look dumb. How is that compassion by letting her file for divorce? He's already, and we'll get to a couple other real interesting things too, but real quick, just a recap. He begged her to be, he begged for her back. He proclaimed his love for her. He knew what he was getting into, and then he bails. As the kids were getting closer, as she was getting closer, they're not 20 years old anymore, and he bails, gets out of there, and does what he's been doing, and runs back and plays the victim, blah, blah, blah. It's getting ridiculous. And what's crazy, and I don't understand if he's thinking it's making him look good, or if his PR people are thinking it's making him look good. But even for example, it was leaked the other day that supposedly close friends of J-Lo are getting tired of her antics and want her to look inside of herself. Really? Her friends are saying this about her? I doubt it. Again, it sounds like it's a leak from Ben's camp that's trying to make him look good, because he's looked bad through this whole entire process. And of course, we see the reports coming out about Jennifer Garner claiming to be happy in her current relationship, but yet she's spending so much time and getting photographed with Ben, and they look like how they should have looked a few years ago when they were actually married. Well, a few years ago, that was a while back. But they actually look like how they should have looked when they were married and having kids and young kids. But now he's somewhere else in a relationship, she's in another relationship, but now they look happy together. Now, if they're happy, great. But now when you go and destroy a bunch of lives along the way, and then you're like, okay, we're happy now, because he's destroying. Supposedly J-Lo is completely broken up about this, and you can imagine she is. I mean, who wouldn't be? If it was flipped around and she did that to him, he'd rightfully be devastated. So he goes and he causes so much havoc for J-Lo. He causes havoc for all the kids that are involved. There are 5 kids together. The kids got closer to Ben. The kids got closer to J-Lo. And again, it throws chaos for them. It throws things into chaos for them. On top of it, it's like more change for them. I mean, yes, they're not little kids. None of them are little kids. But at the same time, they're not 30 years old. They're still kids. And, Ben runs back to Jennifer Garner like an overgrown child, and he's the victim. And I almost threw my computer across the room today when I saw a report that says he was the compassionate. Well, there's 2 things about this. First of all, he's a compassionate one because he let her have the final act of filing the divorce. Who is... And the thing is with Ben, if he's just this, up and coming actor or, a celebrity, then you say, okay, well, he's saying doing dumb things. But someone of Ben's stature, someone who's been a megastar, and whether you like him or not, he's a megastar, and he's been a megastar. Maybe he's, is he a megastar now? You can argue he's not now. And the source was someone friendly with someone close to the couple, meaning close to both of them. And it's so ridiculous. Someone like Ben, he was an absolute megastar and now he's still very relevant, and he's got a team of people. He's got PR people. You would think they'd tell him enough, but maybe it's them that's coming up with this stuff. But and if it is, whoever's doing this and leaking this stuff and thinking it's a good idea, it just comes off as so ridiculous. And even with J-Lo being all broken up about this, there's more and more things coming out. Her talking about how everyone telling her she shouldn't have self-financed the film that came out, that she dumped supposedly $20 million into it, but it was probably more. And see, this is the thing. She's on a string of losses right now, with losing all the money in the film, with the tour getting canceled because, well, she said she was spending it with their kids, but it's probably because of low ticket sales. Her CD not doing really well. The divorce, they're going to lose probably tens of millions of dollars on the home they bought together. And then on the whole divorce in itself, money-wise, they're going to lose millions of dollars because, first of all, lawyers I don't think come cheap, and second of all, both of them have, top law firms or whatever you would call it that's representing each of them. That's going to cost them quite the amount of money. She is just on a string of losses. So on top of all that, her head's got to be spinning too. Like, okay, what the heck's going on? Like, you get to the point a lot of times, and we've all been through it. You get to the point where you have multiple things in a row where things go wrong. All of a sudden you start second guessing yourself, and you start thinking, even if you were doing good up until that point and things start going all wrong, you start thinking, I don't know what's right, what's wrong, and then sometimes you can't even think clearly. And so she's probably going through the same thing right now. But with Ben, it's like, what are you thinking already? Like, who's leaking this stuff to the press? Who's doing that? And like, why?